Hello everybody! You know who it is. I'm still trying to figure out intros, outros for this kind of stuff, but welcome back to Kirby's Return to Dreamland. The last episode, we did the first 3 stages of Level 1, Cookie Country, and now we move on to Stage 4. Whoops. I'll go with Cutter here. I tend to not use Cutter as much as I use Fire. Both are equally useful here for their dash attack. That was a mistake on my part. I'm just making all kinds of mistakes here. Luckily there's a pineapple right here. Not quite sure how Kirby can stand to eat that. I'm not actually a big fan of pineapples myself. And right here is the first sphere of the stage. Now, I can already see that up there is Spark. So... Oh, whoops. Okay, you need to be careful about that. This is the brilliance of Spark. It is very much the power I would recommend using if, well, for one, you have the endurance for it, and 2, are new to a Kirby game, and basically just want an easy-ish experience. So we have more candy off the game. Kill a lot of things. I think there's a spear along here somewhere. I actually can't remember. I think I might have already gone past it. I don't know. If I did, I'll go back and get it later. Another giving sword there. I'll go back and get it if I can. Ah, no, this isn't a spot yet. This is a spot where it introduces you to the rainbow trumpet. It's basically just a projectile protection thing. Much like my Spark Barrier, only it can break blocks. Which makes it very useful. It can also hurt enemies. Just trying to keep the Spark Barrier up because this thing only works above you. So an enemy on equal planes to you can still do a lot of harm to you. Trying to kill off all these little enemies. I know some of the enemies. Just not maybe I miss a sphere. No, I didn't. But back in that area with the candy is just somewhere where I would probably put a sphere. So I figured that there was a sphere there. Ah! Here's our introduction to the Mega Fire power. Well, Monster Flame, I guess it is. The 7... A dragon. That just destroys everything. That one up. Ah, I keep forgetting that it comes in above where Kirby is. So it makes it easier to take it up than it is down. Because you can minorly influence where it is by holding up or down on the D-pad. And yeah, basically just feel free to go nuts with these powers. Because they give you more than enough time of the power to just go nuts. I mean, right here's the portal, and, well, we still have half the power left. Here's another skill challenge. again of sucking up a lot of things and firing it in front of you. Now, I will note, the purple barrier thing does rubber band. For any who don't know, rubber banding is when something basically speeds up when you speed up. And it will speed up to ludicrous speeds to keep up with you. Because even though, I was moving really fast, in theory I should be really far ahead of the barrier. You saw it was right there. I have the choice between Leaf and Plasma. I will pick Plasma this one, Spark, just to show how easy this can make these fights. And it's over. That is why I would recommend Spark to anyone who's new to Kirby. It makes the game easy. Don't think it makes the game, like, impossible, just really easy, so, you will still run into problems. And you definitely won't be able to you won't be able to complete the game only running Spark. And, as I've mentioned, it does really tire out your arm, because you have to be constantly shaking the Wiimote. And even just little movements, it'll still tire out the arm that you're moving the Wiimote with. And, it's actually a fairly nice workout, as I believe I've mentioned before. What's this? The boss, and it's a giant tree. I'm pretty sure anyone who's played Kirby before knows what's coming. Or even people who haven't played Kirby knows what's coming. Probably take Cutter for this. Or no, I haven't used... No, the power I've used the least. I'll use Fire. Plus, it just makes sense. Treats, shaking. It's Whispy Woods. Fire can make this go rather easily. Now, when he gets bigger, you want to run the other way. I am doing my best to stay in the air. And there we go. And he shrinks down to absolutely tiny. And we get feather-looking things. They're the oars. Why a flying boat would need oars, I don't know. And how this happens is another thing I just do not know. I mean, if it can take off and do that, then surely it doesn't need everything we're getting, but... It's oars back. Thank you so much. I should really be for it. I'm counting on you to find the other missing parts. Keep up the good work. And don't forget to keep an eye out for all those energy spheres. If you collect enough, the broken doors within my ship will reactivate. There are two really cool sub-games you can play with your friends. Yeah, they're alright. Not to mention the copyability rooms with all kinds of copy abilities for you to try out. And there are several challenge stages that will really test your skills. I'm really looking forward to those. If you find enough energy spheres, reactivating those doors will be a breeze. So, whenever you see one, be sure to grab it. Wow, you've already found 13 energy spheres? Way to go, Kirby! You've reactivated the door to a challenge stage. It's over in the room on the right. Why not give it a try? How about we not right now? As I mentioned in the first episode, I'm going to be saving those for a bonus episode. But there's effectively a challenge for a fair amount of the powers that you unlock at different numbers of spheres you have. And there's one up here for having them all. That's pink. I wonder what that challenge could be about. Foreshadowing. Pretty bad foreshadowing. Over here, once we get spheres, we'll open these doors. They each have powers in them. And down below here is where the mini-games are. Well, sub-games. I'll probably also be showing these in a bonus episode because they're sub-games. We're here for the main game, right? You guys aren't here to watch me fail at the sub-games, are you? That'd be bad. No. It's this next level that we'll be getting into. The power I am terrible with. Level 2, the Raisin Ruins. Let's just get it started. Nice deserty area. Here is the power. Whip Kirby. This power has given me the most trouble of any of them. It has many different attacks. That is probably the hardest to pull off. One bonus that Whip Kirby has to him is... I think I still need Whip. If I need Fire, I'll come back to it. But one bonus that Whip Kirby has is, well, you can whip things to you. So, if something's through a wall, you can whip it to yourself. Much like this introduces. That one up is behind these Gordos, which we can't pass. But if we whip it, we'll bring it right to ourselves. Kind of convenient. Now, that's all nice and great, but you'll note this power doesn't have much in the way of a diagonal attack. That's its only real diagonal attack. And a lot of the enemies in this area where it's introduced to us start at diagonals to us. At least that's where we should be fighting them from. If you ever see me just whip upwards, I'm trying to do the whip tornado, which is that. You have to push down, then up with one at the same time. Here, the game is giving us fire, so we'll probably need fire for something. Or at least the game would be recommending fire. And right here would be why. You'll run into moments like this a lot, where you'll have to light a fuse and then rush to a cannon. And I really like the backdrop in these stages, just the balls of sand being held up by the sand tornado things. And the pyramids. There's a lot of things to like about this world, except for the whip power. Come down here and get Spike, because it's a power I haven't used all that much, and it is a power I do kind of like, because for anyone who's played the older games, it's basically a mix of wheel and Spike. And I'm going to want to travel more without it. Here. Whoops. Because it just makes parts here a lot easier if you don't use that power. And you'll want to follow it down there, just so you can get that. Spark here for a bit. Spark does not protect you from these boulders. You will end up like those enemies if you get caught under one. Well, it's not that much damage, but it does still hurt. More candy! They use the candy a lot. I kind of like it because it lets the developers just set up crazy things that if you don't have this candy would be really difficult. Yeah, I don't really need milk. I'll just leave the milk there. It's probably sour anyway. Here's our introduction to Parasol. It's an interesting power. It's basically another protection power. Nothing can really hit you from the top while you're using this power. Well, if it's something that makes contact, anyway. Like an enemy falling on you or such. I'll keep using Parasol for this fight rather than switching. Because yes, if the game shows you two powers like that, there's probably a boss fight. Or a mini-boss. And if the enemy gives you a power like Sword, Hammer, Cutter, or Fire, or Water, which we'll be getting into later, there's quite a few powers. If the game gives you from a mini-boss, you'll want it. This hammer can break these blocks. Now I slightly spoiled a power we'll be getting into later, but trust me, I'll be complaining about it when we get to it. I'm not a fan of it. Using the blue style. And give me a 1. No. I knew it was coming. I had to get a 4 eventually. Yes, the reward is much smaller the lower your numbering is. I think if you get the lowest, you don't get anything. Now, the Ninja Dojo is open to us. Like I said, I'll be showing that in a bonus episode. Let's just keep moving along. Now, this, I'm going to show, partially because I don't mind losing Hammer. This enemy does give you a power. Sleep Kirby. You basically just become immobile. And that's it. But here is the water power, which is partially why I spoiled this. I knew we'd be getting into it this stage. It's a very fast-moving power, and the game knows that. Ironically, the enemy that gives you the water power can't live in water. It'll drown, as we just saw there. Also, if you have the water power, your little burst underwater here is more powerful. Goes further. I don't know if that's a thing with every power. I've just noticed it happens distinctly with water. It's basically just your attack when you're underwater. I am actually going to switch to Rock here. Which is another power. You basically transform into a myriad of different things, and it deals a lot of damage, but it's hard to aim. And yes, there is a strongman statue. There are a bunch of different things that you can get with this. A few of them are references. Some of them are throwbacks. Some of them are blocks. And Rock Kirby here can smash down wooden pegs. You'll want to be up the top, or you will get trapped down there and have to leave and come back in this little area. It's a neat little puzzle. One that emphasizes practice over just simply being able to read what the puzzle is going to be. Reacting that way. Which I kind of like. Now we're in an underwater section, which Kirby games do underwater alright. I wouldn't say the underwater section of any Kirby game is particularly the highlight, but it can be interesting. Now, I'm going to be grabbing water here because I believe it's useful for in here. You kind of move a little faster while you sprint as enough of that here. But you kind of move a little faster as you're sprinting as Water Kirby. Okay. Get dashing here again. It's stopped. There's a problem with water. It destroys your power. Now, here's a moment of what one do you push? I say that one. You basically just need to watch the metal attached to the things. See, it goes around and releases the fish and the Gordon. I'm not gonna whoops. See, I'm not gonna stay in there and I just go back. I am playing really bad right now. At least there's a hot dog right there. Kubo or Kobo or something like that. He's a thing. His name starts with K or something like that. I've totally played Kirby's Avalanche a lot. I should know these enemy names, but I don't. There's, I believe, an introduction to timed pull switches. I think that's it. And as you might be able to guess from the music and the way that these have stars on them, that we're going to be using a new Mega Power. This one is probably my favorite. Well, second favorite, now I think of it. There's one that's more fun to use, but I just like how this one works. This Flare Beam. Basically create a ball of beam that just destroys things. It's awesome. Oops, I missed one. I forgot there was another exploding thing, bomb tile around there. Maximum Tomato, which is why I was partially stopping, other than just to show that's Maximum Tomato. I should note, going back down only gains you access to more stars. There's nothing of relevance down there. The portal is up here. This is a very basic introduction to this power. The game gets really creative with it later. Just trust me on that one. If you don't like it here, you might like it later. And here, because, of course, is the introduction to the water variant of these. Some of these fish, I forget their names, are kind of tracking me. Well, tracking Kirby. It's kind of just something they'll do. Some enemies will track you and be hostile to you, and others won't. Kind of self-explanatory, but yeah. And also, if you're inflated when you go into water, you'll kind of naturally rise, because you're full of air. Air rises underwater. Here we have a bit more Parasol. I'm going to take Parasol. I'm actually not good with either of these powers in combat, but I prefer Parasol. Also, if you push the A button, you block. So, wait, I don't think that's a blockable attack. I don't actually tend to block often, so... But yeah, you assume a defensive stance. I was trying to grab his little energy ball and show something. He'll drop some more. It does mean this will take a little longer than I intended. You suck up one of his little balls, and swallow it, you'll get the power of whatever Doomer you're fighting. For this red Doomer, we get power. I kind of like the little things like that. You know, some enemies' attacks, if you use them, you gain their power. That's a nice little touch. It also kind of fits that we'd be leaving as Fire Kirby, given there's a lot of fire there. Yeah, to get the 1, you basically just want to hit the button when you're at the very bottom. Nearly like the very bottom pixel is when you want to be hitting 2 from what I've, done anyway. But that makes our 3rd stage for this episode. We've actually run a little long. There will probably be a little bit I've cut down out of this though, so it'll probably still be about 20 minutes. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again for more Kirby's Return to Dreamland.